Hey, are you thinking about moving in 2023 to St. Johns County, Florida? If so, stay tuned because in this video, we're going to go over 6 steps to making your move as smooth as possible. I am Melissa Anderson. I'm your EXP agent, your St. Johns County Realtor right here in Northeast Florida. And if you are looking to move here to this area, be sure to hit the subscribe button because I share everything there is to know about moving, living, playing, all the things right here in this area. New videos are released every week. Also, if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. I'll put my contact information here and then also in the description below. People reach out all the time about moving to this area, and it is my pleasure to help. So if you have any questions at all, please ask. This video is going to be about 6 steps that you need to think about when moving to St. Johns County, Florida or Northeast Florida. All right, so first off, we're going to talk about the most important is you need to decide which area, like where you want to live in this area. So Jacksonville itself, fun fact, is the largest city by land in the entire United States. So what does that mean? It means it takes a minute to get places. So when I talk about deciding where to live, you want to think about if you are relocating because of work, is your job downtown, and maybe you're thinking about moving to the beaches or down in St. Augustine. That is going to be one heck of a drive for you. So at a minimum of 45 minutes, that's if you're lucky, well over an hour to and from, and that's if traffic is not backed up. Because this area of Florida is experienced like a really big growth, kind of a boom, there is more traffic, a little bit of congestion, all of that. So take that into consideration. If you're working from home, you don't have to worry about the commute, then the option is all yours. So one, you want to decide, which area you want to look at, and let me know if there's different areas, of course. And even in St. Johns County alone, there's so many different communities, and I can really help you narrow that down. One thing to think about if you're focusing in on St. Johns County is a lot of the communities here are newer. So a lot of this area used to just be like all, farmland, and all these areas are really building up. So there's a lot of population growth. There's a lot of construction, a lot. It's because these communities are newer, right? And a lot of these communities are still being built within. So even Nocatee, for example, that's been around for several years now, they still have new communities within Nocatee that are being built out. So take that into consideration, that if you choose to move, depending on in St. Johns County, that you're going to have to deal with a little bit of population growth and construction. So, but it will be worth it in the long run. And then another considering factor about choosing which area to live in is, especially if you choose St. Johns County, our school districts are rated one of the top in the state of Florida, if not within the nation. So our schools are really, really outstanding. Caveat there, we are experiencing a lot of population growth, and just like the rest of the US, we do have our teacher shortages. We need bus drivers, we need substitutes. So just keep that in mind and kind of be patient as you go into that, but definitely research all of that stuff. And then I will just, because it's my job to share everything with you, especially if you're moving to this area. I mean, everything's not just, perfect. You want to know the ins and outs. One thing I have seen in some of the neighborhood forums or groups is, especially new folks that are moving in, is they wish they would have researched the area just a little bit more, especially for doctors, dentists, any kind of special needs. If you have a family that your children or significant other may have, things that you need to get treatment for, a lot of maybe, a specialist or a doctor that you're trying to get into, they may be, their patient load may be full. So you want to, or daycare, especially if your child's not in school yet, but maybe daycares, really, really start researching that early. So if you've narrowed down the area where you want to move to and you need daycare, research that and get on the wait list. I can't stress that enough. All right, so that was number one. Number two, once you've kind of narrowed down the area, you have it figured out, okay, here's where we want to look. You need to find a real estate agent. And, here's my contact info. So reach out. It doesn't, the earlier the better if possible. And I'm talking, 3 months, 6 months, even up to a year. Most folks that I've helped that have moved in from out of state, it's been, almost up to a year prior. And that's okay. So it's been where, maybe we narrow down different areas based on, where they work or their hobbies or, the feel of a community, because they're all so different. And then I can do, like, if you're not able to come in and kind of tour this yourself, I can send you videos or resources. And then just get you ready for your, get you prepared basically before you moved down here. So I have an amazing buyer's guide, and I'm just going to throw this out here right now, that if you are thinking about moving here, let me send you the buyer's guide. It is so comprehensive, and I wish I had this earlier when I was purchasing homes before I got my real estate license. It would, it's amazing. Okay. And if it even stresses you out, if you get anxious even thinking about moving, then let me send you this guide, because it's going to answer so many questions for you. It lays it out, especially if you're like me, where you need to have everything laid out. You want a checklist. You want to know step by step. You want everything covered. Then this guide is for you. Okay. So we talked about number two. So one, deciding the area where you want to live. Number two, finding your real estate agent. And then three, after you've found your agent, you'll want to do your pre-approval. I can connect you with a lender or a mortgage broker so we can find the right kind of loan vehicle for you, unless you're paying cash, that works for your situation. And of course, again, pre-approval, so you know how much home you can afford. So what's the budget? And then that will help us narrow it down as well. So number three is narrowing down your search. Because you've already, researched the area, found your agent, pre-approval, you know how much you can afford, and now we're going to narrow it down. So now it's like, okay, we have a timeline, we know when we're moving, now let's find the home. If you're not in this area, again, I can visit all of these homes for you. I can send you videos. I can give you more information about them until like you're able to come and tour on your own. We can narrow it down. Oh, let me not forget here, because this situation that we're in now with the housing market, it really favors buyers. So before, we had slim pickings for inventory. Now, as of yesterday, there were a little over 800 single-family homes, condos, and townhomes for sale, active listings in St. Johns County. So you really you're going to have options. And two, we're not in like bidding wars. It's not like crazy as it was in the summer where, there's, 11, 20 offers on a home, and you're having to, spend $100,000 more than you anticipated to try to win the offer on a home, or no concessions. You're not able to ask anything because it was such a hot seller's market. So keep that in mind. Definitely, that this is your time to buy. And, if you're worried about the interest rates, I'll just say this, like 3% was kind of an anomaly. That's really low. I don't maybe anticipate us ever seeing that low again for quite some time. I think, maybe 6%, 5% is going to be kind of what the norm is for quite some time. And so just keep that in mind if you're like, well, I'm going to wait till the interest rate's lower. I think that what we're seeing now, maybe, the feds have said that it could lower maybe again by the end of next year. However, we don't have the crystal ball. It's hard to tell the future. But if you are locking in at like a higher interest rate, just know that you can always refinance to lower once it drops, say, the end of next year. All right, so decide where, find an agent, narrow down your search. Four, which I kind of tied in the number three, which was look at homes. So we're going to narrow down the homes. And of course, when you're looking, I have a comprehensive questionnaire that I'll send you so we can kind of get really specific, because I don't want to really set you up on a search or start looking for things that you're not interested in. Like, I want to know exactly what you want. And like I said, luckily, I mean, there's options. There's options right now. So, I mean, hopefully, fingers crossed, you can get everything on your list that you're looking for and not having to, um, compromise on things because the inventory is so low. All right, so we found your home. We've researched the different communities. You've been able to get the feel for them. You've figured out where you want to be. You've got the schools, daycare, doctors, all of that thing, what works best for your family. And then, so we find your home, you're here. Then it's going to be making sure the change of address, all of that stuff. You have 30 days from once you move to get your driver's license for Florida. You have to have that updated. And again, there's another checklist, a timeline of like 3 months out, a month out, a week out, of all the things that you need to do to prepare. And then last but not least is the homestead exemption. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about what that is in this video. I will explain it in another, and I've actually done a video explaining that on my Instagram channel, and I can link that in the description below. But you want to make sure once you move here that you file for your homestead exemption by March the following year of the year that you purchased the home, because that's up to $50,000 tax savings. So definitely don't want to miss that. And so those are the just initial, really quick 6 things that you want to consider when you're moving to St. Johns County in 2023. Of course, if you have any questions at all, feel free to leave those in the comments or use my contact information here to reach out. All right, until next time.